Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about Canada. I have had so many requests, so many people, clients, students, people on YouTube saying, please look at the charts of Canada. We are so suppressed. Been in lockdown forever with no end in sight. So let's look at this. This is the way I do this. I take the chart that I've found for Canada and the chart of your leader, Justin Trudeau, and that's how I can assess where this is going for you. So I'll do the best I can. Now, before I start, I always like to remind everyone that if you would like to receive my free newsletter, go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. You will get all of my predictions delivered to your email. Plus, while you're there, don't forget to check out my beautiful malas and spiritual jewelry. And if you would like to study Vedic astrology with me, I just started a new semester 1. It's time to come on board. Come on board, check it out, University of Vedic Astrology. So let's get on, and I'm going to put up the charts of both the chart I have for Canada and for Justin Trudeau. So the chart I have for Canada is pretty recent. I'm looking at it, and it is for July 1st, wow, 1867. That is an old chart, so I hope it's correct. But one thing I do know is July 1st, that's an important day because that is the day I feel like is going to be most intense when Saturn and Mars are opposing each other. So things are really still very intense in Canada. I see, it's not letting up right away, but I do see a bright future coming for you. So don't overly react to what I'm about to say about the here and the now. So one thing is, I wanted to start with Trudeau's chart. Now, I don't have any connection or understanding of the politics in Canada. So whatever I'm saying, trust me, it's very objective, just looking at the astrology chart. So with his chart, I am seeing that his ascendant is Leo. Great ascendant for a world leader because Leo is the sign that takes charge and wants to lead. But I find it a little disturbing that he has Mars and Moon in the 8th house. That is not easy. So life is not easy, but the 8th house can really deal with scandals and humiliation. So I think during this time, probably he is getting beat down by many of the people over the extremes that he has been doing with his country being locked down as long as it has. But his moon being there conjunct Mars, now he's got a moon-Mars conjunction in the 8th house. That's actually a Chandra Mangala Yoga, which means business success. So, he's going to fight for his cause and get what he wants. But I happen to notice that transiting Saturn right now, being in his 6th house does deal with work and health. And Saturn's been in his 6th house for quite some time. Yes. And I think over a year for sure. And he got the coronavirus, if I remember correctly. He was sick. So that's what this Saturn will do. Maybe this is why he's reacting as strongly as he is to this virus. But Saturn is fully aspecting the moon and will continue to do so over the course of the next 4 to 6 months. Yes. And that is very intense. Saturn's full aspect is 3 signs away. So if you'll count from where Saturn is transiting right now, it's in Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. It is fully aspecting that moon in the 8th house. And this is very difficult because his moon rules the 12th house of hidden agendas, secrets, but it is also foreign enemies, foreigners. So the fact that his natal moon rules his 12th house, goes to the 8th house, That's a tough chart. There's a lot of losses and a lot of heartache I see with him. But with Saturn aspecting his moon, he is going through a rough time. Probably he's getting many people complaining about the destruction maybe that this whole lockdown is causing to the economy. This is really destroying his reputation. Yes, and not only that, transiting Rahu, where the eclipse just happened in Taurus, is happening in his 10th house. Now let me just say, I don't know how much longer he has for his time up in office, but let me just say, this is not doing any wonders for his reelection, because with an eclipse happening in the 10th house, the 10th house is your reputation, it's your career, and eclipses mean something comes out that people didn't know about, so there's some kind of secrets or maybe some scandalous stuff, but I'm telling you, this is destroying his career. So his future as being in the leadership position looks like it's not going to go on, okay? And Ketu, his transit of Ketu is in his 4th house. This is his home. This is actually his country, homeland. Ketu is losses. And there's great losses going on. I suppose that this lockdown is really way too over the top, too severe. I'm just getting this because of the Ketu being here. There's losses in the homeland. So the people, as you well know, those of you in Canada, are not happy with this result. While I'm looking at the transit of Mars right now, as it is in the sign of Cancer, it is transiting his 12th house. And right on his Ketu. This is another indication of losses and problems and secrets behind the scene, particularly with foreign countries. You know, maybe he knows something we don't, but he's, you know, foreign countries, there could be a major issue here in Canada for maybe attacks or problems that I see coming about. Yeah. With Mars transiting over Ketu and Saturn being in the 6th house, which deals with struggles, which deals with work, opposition, frustration. This is a difficult time. But let me just say, looking at his chart, when Jupiter moves up into the later degrees of Aquarius, which won't be to the beginning of January of 2022, will be the time that things will really be alleviated, I believe, because Jupiter, I'm really thinking about it in terms of the chart for Canada. Let's revert to the chart of Canada. We know where he's at. He's not in a good place. I got to say that. There might be something that he's hiding. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's something he's hiding, and there's a reason why he's doing the lockdown that we don't know about. That's what I get about his moon in the 8th, ruler of the 12th, and Saturn's aspect to it. That's a lot going on. And there for a while, Neptune was crossing over his Ketu in the 6th house, and it was probably about a year ago, and maybe that was when he had the coronavirus. But he was, last year, a lot of deception and denials were going on for him and actually to him. So let's go to the chart for Canada, the 1867 chart. And looking at that, the rising sign is in Virgo. Virgo is, you know, it's a great sign for work, healing, all of those things. So the chart ruler goes to the 11th house. And particularly, this is a country that is open, you know, generally opportunities for many, many people to come from around the world. It's always been open to humanity. But just to get going here, you know, Canada has I always think it's such an interesting chart by the fact that the sun and Uranus and the moon all sit in the 10th house. It's a very progressive country for the most part. Maybe you don't feel like it is now, but for the most part, generally, it's been very, very progressive. Now, as I said, starting in January, I know it's a long time away, but that is when things will really start coming together. There will be a massive healing and the economy will be doing great in Canada. Again, imagine that. But that's not till into January. Into January, when Jupiter will move up to close to 15 degrees. It'll probably be February. February is more like it. There's going to be a Jupiter return in this chart in the 6th house. Things will be restored, a healing to the economy and especially this disease. It will be pretty much over. Not completely. It's not ever going to be over. We all know that. But we're dealing with it, and it's not controlling the country and shutting it down. Because Jupiter on Jupiter in the 6th house is fantastic. But not only that, notice that Jupiter will be aspecting the sun and the moon in the 10th house, which is opportunities for work. They're going to have tons of opportunities, open up things like never before to really bring a new economy for new things, progress, money. You're not going to stay down. So this is as soon as February that this Jupiter will conjoin Jupiter and cast a trine to all of the 10th house planets. So you're going to be on your way back pretty soon. But one thing that I do see that's kind of interesting is that transiting Jupiter is going to hit K2. This will be pretty much around the time of, well, I'm going to say closer to April, March and April, when Jupiter is going to cross over K2 in Aquarius. And this will bring a new awareness in the realm of health and healing. And here's where I think Canada's got some problems that it's really trying to work out. Issues with the health and healing of the country, because there are a lot of problems that the health system's not working, and because there's the Jupiter K2 there. But Jupiter coming over K2, there's going to be a transformation in the way that healthcare is handled in Canada. It has to be. Things are going to be different. And maybe that's part of the result that the coronavirus is going to bring. A new revelation in how things weren't working in the area of health and healing. And now there's going to be some changes that are going to be positive, but it's going to be hard at first. And this is around the springtime of March and April. Interesting that I see Saturn, and Saturn is opposing Mercury in this chart, natally. Natal Mercury, transiting Saturn is opposing it. So everyone is frustrated, so frustrated. They don't feel like the government listens to them. Yes. And transiting Mars is going to be crossing right now over Mercury. And that's more frustration and anger. People are afraid to really fight back here, but they have to. This is a part of humanity. Things are going to change drastically over this coronavirus in Canada. But I will say this, it's going to be an awakening and something better is coming. But I have to say, I don't see it coming immediately. Okay? So I'm thinking the summer, it's still going to be pretty much a lot of the same till Trudeau he's hiding something. There's a reason why he's doing what he's doing. And to be honest with you, I don't understand it, but there is something going on. Maybe it'll be revealed, and maybe through that's going to be where a healing finally kicks in and sets in. It's going to be good. Now, by the time Mars gets into Leo, which Mars will enter into Leo around the 21st of July, and it will be there for about 6 weeks. Thereafter, there's going to be, there's still going to be some problems because Mars will be on Mars in Rahu and aspecting Ketu. So I'm thinking this is going to probably continue on through maybe October or August. Yes. That's crazy what I'm seeing here. Okay, hopefully I've overestimated this, but but that's what I'm seeing for you guys. But one thing for sure is your healthcare is going to go through a major revolutionary change. It's going to make it better, and that's wonderful. Another thing is leadership is going to change as well. When Jupiter, I don't know when Trudeau's time's up, but leadership should change after him. I don't think he's acquired a lot of fans by what he's doing, and I think this something secret that's coming out about him will change people's minds about him. That's the other aspect. And another thing is Neptune. Yes, this is important that Neptune has been aspecting, as I said, Ketu in this chart. That it looks like it's in the 6th house of health and healing, revelations and healing, and even spiritual healing and holistic healing will become more prevalent and open in Canada. Wow, I love that. So I find it fascinating, though, if you look at the chart of Canada and then you look at the chart of Trudeau, Neptune for the chart of Canada sits right on Trudeau's moon in the 8th house. There is something something's going to be revealed, and I don't even know if possibly it already has, some secret agendas and things that can deal with corruption around leadership while he is in office there. So this looks pretty interesting, how things are transforming, changing in Canada. And I'm still getting definitely that throughout the time that Mars is in Cancer, that I don't think things are going to open up. And that covers pretty much between now and the end of July, and maybe onwards through August. But it could be, things are not going to get normal in Canada. I have to tell you, needless to say, not throughout the whole end of this year. But by the time we get to next spring, that's going to be where there's hope, there's opportunities, there's things where the economy will be restored, and it will be better than before. So I hope I helped, but I can't tell you that it's going to happen quickly. Not tomorrow, not next month. So hang in there. Remember, there's always an opportunity in everything, and everything happens for a reason. So use this time to reinvent yourself, to go within, find your peace, and maybe study astrology because this is going to give you hope and answers for the future. So with that, I'd like to close. Remember, you can always go to my website. Check out more information on my website, which is galacticcenter.org. And also, if you want to study Vedic astrology, go to my university website, which is universityofvedicastrology.com. Thank you.